Good morning, Steelworkers. Good morning. All right. You feeling all right? You feeling good on Wednesday? All right. Well, I have the opportunity to present the Thomas M. Conway Lifetime Achievement Award. And our late international president, Tom Conway, was in so many ways larger than life, serving not just as a leader, but a mentor and a friend to working people the world over, including most of us in the room. Tom came out of the Burns Harbor steel mill, and he knew, as well as anyone, the value of a good union job. He also knew that these kinds of jobs didn't happen if we weren't willing to fight. Fight for strong contracts, fight for fair trade, and fight for legislation that helps balance the scales between working families and greedy corporations. This year, your International Executive Board voted to institute a new award that will be presented each convention to those, like Tom, who dedicated their lives to advancing workers' interests. This year, we're presenting the Thomas M. Conway Lifetime Achievement Award to two people who have never stopped fighting to expand labor rights, rebuild domestic manufacturing, stop bad trade, and grow the middle class. Former Senators Bob Casey of Pennsylvania and Sherrod Brown of Ohio. That's right. Both of these longtime USW allies have had storied careers marked by powerful advocacy for working people everywhere and good people around them who helped push and advocate for the things that you all cared about. From standing up against bad trade policies, to advocating for federal infrastructure investments, to expanding access to affordable health care and dignified retirement, both Bob Casey and Sherrod Brown spent decades fighting on behalf of workers and their communities and your communities. Unfortunately, Senator Brown is unable to join us, but we're incredibly honored that our friend Bob Casey is here today so that we can present him with the very first Thomas M. Conway Award. We could think of no one better who has embodied Tom's fighting spirit and his huge heart. I would also like to draw your attention to the flag just on my right. We have the privilege of being able to display one of the flags presented to Tom's family by the Honor Guard detail at his memorial service. So, with a heavy heart, but also a fair amount of joy at the work that former President Conway has done and the people that we're honoring today have done, please welcome former Senator Bob Casey.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and I'm honored to be here, and I'm just wanted to commend and salute the work of every member of the Steelworkers Union who are here. I'll talk about you more in a moment, but I wanted to start with your president, Dave McCall. Dave, I'm honored to be in your presence again and grateful for your leadership of the Steelworkers all these years. Let's hear it for Dave McCall again. And of course, all of the officers, Miles and all the international vice presidents and officers, we're honored by their presence here today. And especially I want to thank those who are in this audience and the hundreds of thousands that you represent all across the country and beyond our country. I want to especially commend and salute the men and women of District 10. I don't know where they are, but I want to, over there. Where's Bernie Hall? I saw Bernie backstage a couple of moments ago, but I'm honored by Bernie's leadership. Bernie, thank you for all of your friendship and leadership. I knew that District 10 would make their presence known when I mentioned, but I do want to salute the work that you do every day, the dignity of your work, the men and women of the Steelworkers all across our country and beyond. I want to thank you for the dedication you bring to that work, the value of your work, not just to our economy, that's obvious, but in addition to the economic benefit your workers bring to the country, the contribution you make literally to our national security. And I don't think we emphasize that enough. We are a less secure nation if we did not have the Steelworkers. And I was just looking at the long list of jobs that folks in the Steelworkers hold just in District 10, whether you're a steel maker, or whether you're a pharmaceutical manufacturer, or a paper worker, or a chemical manufacturer, or a healthcare worker, or a higher education professional, and so many other jobs and the high skill level that you bring to those jobs. I want to commend and salute what you do each and every day. Now, one of the great benefits of being a former public official is you have a lot of boxes to clean out. And I went through some boxes in my hometown of Scranton, Pennsylvania, and I found a letter that I wrote to President Clinton about steel dumping. Now, this is a long time ago, but we're still wrestling, of course, with so many of these issues. And this was dated, this just happens to be exactly 26 years ago this month. And I wrote to President Clinton to urge him to support legislation that was in the House and the Senate to halt the dumping of cheap foreign steel on U.S. markets by passing legislation to reduce steel imports and to establish an early warning system to monitor any future import surges. Now, why did I make reference to that? I just want to make reference to it because I wanted to remind myself and remind everyone here that we've been working together a long time, and I'm privileged to have had that opportunity to work with you. Just have two more messages before I leave the stage, because I know you have a program that you want to stay adhered to. Number one is, I think as much as we're debating as a nation the best thing to do about tariffs, I've supported tariffs as a member of the United States Senate, 301 and 202, when they were targeted and strategic. I think what's happening now is something else. But I'll leave that aside purposefully, because I think a lot of what we're missing in terms of our national dialogue centers around one word: taxes. We've got a big tax debate coming up this year. And what's happening in Washington right now is they are planning. They're not just talking about it, but they're planning by their votes on these budget resolutions to gut programs like Medicaid and the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, just to mention two, in order to fund tax breaks for large corporations and very wealthy Americans. And anyone who tells you they're not doing that is lying to you. That's what they're about right now. That tax bill that they want to renew and make permanent when it comes to individuals that they passed in 2017, they passed it very quickly, went by a lot of people. Here's what that means for the middle class. This year, the middle 20% of American taxpayers are getting $910. Now, some people would say, well, it's better to have $910 than nothing. I understand that. But what's the top 1% getting in 2025 as a result of that bill from 8 years ago? They're getting more than $61,000 each. Now, I think if we're going to do tax policy in 2025, we shouldn't screw the middle class. We should give the middle class a big tax break, and if there's something left over, then the big companies and the rich can get some help. But let's give thousands of dollars to the middle class in 2025. And we got to start talking about that. Finally, let me conclude with this, because it's a personal reflection, and it's I think, deserving of the person I'm quoting. I'm not sure that there's any greater tribute to the Steelworkers Union and the men and women who make up the Steelworkers Union, any greater tribute than was provided way back in the 1990s by my father when he was serving as governor of Pennsylvania. Now, he passed away in May of 2000, so this May will be 25 years since he died. But one of the best things he did, as a way to pay tribute to the American worker and also to pay tribute to his own father who worked in the anthracite coal mines, was to erect a statue, a bronze sculpture, actually, in front of the governor's residence at the time. It's since been moved to the Department of Labor and Industry. I didn't like that, but they moved it. But here's what he said when he wrote this about 25 years ago. He said, this was a bronze sculpture, quote, depicting a massive figure putting in place a large piece of steel. So of all the workers that he could choose from, he chose a steelworker. He said, the sculpture is entitled The Pennsylvania Worker. He said, I had it placed there so that all future occupants of that residence, meaning the governors, and the people of Pennsylvania whom they represent, would never forget the sweat and blood of working men and women who built Pennsylvania, forged the Industrial Revolution, and outproduced the world. None of those things could have happened. To quote my father's words, none of those things could have happened. We couldn't have had the Industrial Revolution. We couldn't have outproduced the world. We couldn't have won World War II or any other conflict. We couldn't have moved our economy in the right direction without the men and women of steel. So I thank you for that. I'm honored by this award. God bless your work. Thank you.
Get Bernie down. Senator, on behalf of our International Executive Board, our members, I want to present to you the first Thomas and Conway Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you for all you've done for us.
Thank you. God bless you. Let me just add, I don't want to keep you, but I do want to thank the Conway family for giving us the gift of Tom Conway. And I want to thank Senator Brown as well, someone that I know as a friend, but there's never been a greater champion in the United States Senate than Sherrod Brown. So I'm honored to be, in a sense, standing in his stead today to accept this award on my behalf and on his behalf as well. God bless the Conway family. God bless the Steelworkers.
Thank you so much. Did we have a picture of the award? Oh, yeah, let's get a picture.
All right. Again, thanks to Senator Casey for coming and attending. Unfortunately, Sherrod Brown was unable to attend, but please, he was able to send a video, and so let's please welcome Sherrod Brown by video.
I'm Sherrod Brown. Thank you. It's always such an honor to be with the Steelworkers. Thank you for all of your activism, your commitment to our country, especially Dave McCall, whom I've known for decades now. Roxanne Brown, thank you for the work you do in the international, and of course Donnie Blatt in my state in this district. You may know this story, but I was given some years ago, in Lorain, Ohio on Memorial Day, Workers' Memorial Day, this canary pin that was designed by a steelworker. I've worn it essentially for 25 years since, and it symbolizes to me worker safety, but it symbolizes all that this union does, fighting for justice, fighting for jobs, fighting for civil rights, fighting for women's rights, all that you do. And I think I'm sharing the podium. I'm not sure that Bob Casey is there, but I know I'm sharing this award with him, and he was helping to lead the charge on all those issues of justice too on behalf of the steelworkers in his state of Pennsylvania. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve the people of this country for 18 years in the Senate. Thanks for the opportunity to work with Tim Berga, who comes from a long line of steelworkers. I knew his dad even longer than I knew Dave McCall. So thanks to Roxanne and Donnie and Dave and to Bob Casey. It's an honor, and it's the fight continues. We just launched the Dignity of Work Institute. It's going to be a national institute. It's going to be focused on workers, something that we in this country, elected officials and others, need to do a lot better job focusing on workers. That's what I've done my whole career. It's what I'll continue to do with the Dignity of Work Institute. Thank you so much.